Firstly, I'd like to say thanks a lot to everyone who's provided me with some feedback or asked questions on YouTube. I try to answer as many as I can, and hopefully my answers have been very useful. So let's start out with a positive news story. There's been the announcement of a DAMA for Far North Queensland. The description of Far North Queensland is maybe a little bit misleading because it's really an area just around Cairns, so it doesn't go up to the top of Australia. But it is positive news. A DAMA is a designated area migration agreement, which is a special agreement which can have concessions, which makes it easier to apply for visas. The Far North Queensland DAMA just adds to the DAMAs that are available around Australia. If you look on our website, you'll see that we've got a map which shows where the DAMAs are. As time passes, there's more and more DAMAs. Interestingly, the whole of the Central Australia, so Northern Territory and South Australia, is DAMA land. And then there's other areas which are popping up, some in Western Australia, Queensland and Victoria. Moving on to some not so positive news, the Skillselect results for August. There's a bit of a time lag in the results coming out, but these results are not very inspiring. The reason being that only 200 positions were given away, which is a lot less than normal. That was 100 for the 189 and 100 for the 489. With that very low number of invitations, we've seen the scores required to get an invitation skyrocket. So accountants are currently facing 90 points to get an invitation, which I believe is a new record. It's not really time to panic just yet because there's 18,000 positions available under the planning levels for the 189, and in the month of August they gave out 100. So based on those statistics, there's going to be a lot of 189 invitations to give away, and so there's still more opportunity in this program year. One of the big news stories of the moment is certainly the closing of the 489. The 489 visa is no longer open. You can't get an invitation for it. You can still lodge a 489, and that can happen up until the 15th of November 2019. But that's only if you've already got an invitation. From the 16th of November 2019, we're going to have a new visa, which will be the 491. The 491 effectively replaces the 489. It's got many of the same characteristics, and it's proving to be popular already. We receive many inquiries about it. There are still some things about it which are different. So instead of committing to 2 years in a regional area, you'll be committing to 3 years. The list has not been announced yet, so we're going to have to wait to see what the list will be, but I expect it to be very similar to what we've currently got for the 489. So now we're in the last days of the 187 direct entry visa. This has been a very popular visa over many years. Once granted, you go directly to permanent residency. The 187 direct entry is going to be closing as of the 15th of November 2019. After that time, there'll be another visa available, which will be the 494. However, it's more demanding in terms of requirements. Particularly, it needs a skills assessment for all occupations, and that's going to prove quite a barrier. So what I'd say is there's going to be a mini rush of people trying to get this direct entry 187 lodged. Why I'm only saying a mini rush is because people are finding it quite hard to qualify for the 187 direct entry. In 2018, some new requirements were introduced, including that all applicants must have 3 years of relevant work experience, and also the Skilling Australia Fund was also applied to the RSMS. As a result, the number of employers willing to go ahead is less, and the applicant requirements are more. So any employers or applicants out there that are looking to do a direct entry 187 visa, it's probably time to start looking at doing that as soon as possible before the visa closes. So there are a couple of developments on the policy side of things for migration. The federal government is holding an inquiry into regional migration, and submissions for that closed on the 20th of September. This inquiry is looking for suggestions as how to promote regional migration. It's also looking for success stories from overseas or success stories from within Australia. At the same time, there's been an announcement that there's going to be a review of the skilled occupation lists. Now, this seems to be a positive thing. The reason being that the review seems to be focusing on making the lists better match the occupations that are in demand. Hopefully, the review will result in some occupations which are in demand, which currently aren't on the lists, being added. On the wish list would be some occupations which might be lower skilled than the ones that are currently on there, but where there's real shortages. I would say carer visas and agricultural worker visas would be the big areas where if occupations were added, then this would have a great effect for Australia. So there are some mysteries with the introduction of these new visas. One of the most common questions I'm getting at the moment is, what is the points requirement going to be for the 491 visa? Will the points requirement go up? Because the 491 now has some extra points available for partners if they've got good English or if they've got qualifications. Also, single people get an extra 10 points. So what's going to happen? The answer is we'll find out from the 16th of November when the changes are implemented. Hopefully we'll find out before that. To finish up, this week I was lucky enough to present Jonathan Liu for admission to practice as a legal practitioner in South Australia. Congratulations, Jonathan. Thanks for watching the October video. Please subscribe for all the latest updates.